Hi, welcome back to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to all the ministry here. No more Jim Crow, craft ministry, garden ministry, and anything we do here. Listen, I wanted to do something really quick. It just kind of came up on me for whatever reason. And I've mentioned it, but I haven't mentioned it. Like I was thinking, it's like, what the heck? I'm not going to be afraid to expose these racist, crooked churches and preachers that I have encountered. Now, I'm just talking about a couple of them right now. But being born again, I'm serious about that. That's my life. And if I found somewhere to go that I felt like fed me at the time for what I knew about being fed, I was all in. As a matter of fact, I wanted to move to Branson, Missouri because there was a church there, Faith Life Church, Keith Moore. He was one of Hagin's disciples or what have you, along with Kenneth Copeland and all the rest of that group. And there was some great word we were being fed. The word was free. You could get videos and tapes and things for free. People were donating into the ministry, and they were giving away the word for free. And of course, that was wonderful. There were, of course, fundraisers and things that, they tithing and whatever was going on, all the kind of offerings, but the word was free and it was good. And I thought that they were decent people until you stay long enough and you get close enough, you'll find out. A lot of racism in that congregation. Some dude had the nerve to even park his truck up in there with a Confederate flag in the window and on his plates and whatever. Didn't matter to me. I kind of moved on because I thought I had heard Keith preach, nobody is one, pure anything, and God said he made us all from one blood, blah, 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 blah. So I'm thinking, that he's protecting black people, they're going to be treated equally in his church and so forth and so on. Now, I know a pastor can't know and do everything and see everything. But I guarantee you nothing went down in that church without them knowing about it. His wife was very on point about hands-on and being involved in everything. So after going there for, different amounts of time, I went to Kenneth Copeland's conventions, Billy Graham's conventions, that whole scene. And then I saw with my own eyes Kenneth Copeland flash the Baphomet. I didn't even at that time know what the Baphomet was, okay? Even though I had studied in a lot of depths of demonic things and things of Christianity and what have you, I didn't really understand what that was by hand signals and different stuff. So then, I went to Prayer Mountain, Billy Graham and all that. And then I noticed that they were practically denying Christ to get next to the Jewish people that they knew. Netanyahu actually came to the church. They were so disconnected. How do I put this? They made Netanyahu feel comfortable being there when he don't believe in Jesus at all. The man's a murderer. And all of his family and staff and stuff. They were all there. Listening to them, they come, they have Israel night and all that. Well, when I learned the truth about who the Jews really are and who they are not, and how they are, imitating being the Bible Hebrews, and I realized Billy knew all along the truth and was living a lie. and feeding us a lie. They were all feeding us lies, deception, and was manipulating us for money. So then she even had the nerve to start getting an attitude toward me. Now, it's too long of a story to tell why I think that came about, but I hadn't done anything wrong. Matter of fact, I supported, praised them, always was there, didn't know any better at the time. So then my son became a worshiper. He was one of the praise and worship leaders there at Faith Life Church at Keep Mowers. I did not know what was going on. He wouldn't tell me because they had him convinced. I taught them to be respectful. I taught them to, the whole system is about yielding to the pastor and those folks. And there is some witchcraft going on. Matter of fact, I encountered more than one witch at that church. Bad situation. So Keith even attacked me and my husband while we were there at the church, in the congregation. Then gonna try to half apologize, not man enough to come to my face where he did. And I went back because, for one thing, I knew it was just a different situation. And my son was still there. And and then I saw the hypocrisy going on. His wife saying, the Lord said for y'all to, share your rings or whatever with each other if you hear from him or whatever she says. But he didn't tell me to share mine. Now, she had a new yellow diamond with regular other diamonds, around it. But he didn't tell me to share mine. Oh, really? That's how this is. That's how I knew. That was like the confirmation after all this other stuff, just a whole other. I mean, I got a long list of stories. I was gullible and needy. Okay? So I come to find out they was calling my son the N-word. Called themselves, they were joking, calling him N Woods, because he would go golf, play tennis and stuff like that, because he was an athlete. And then heard that they would take and make him get on his hands and knees and clean the floor and bathrooms and different things if he wanted to sing and lead worship. I noticed that his suit was always shining. Nobody else's suit was all shined up, like when you iron something and shine it up. That they're the ones that take care of the uniforms, the suits and things that the people wear. His stuff was always shining. And that they had been treating him, he almost had a nervous breakdown. Now, I did not know about this until because he wouldn't tell me. He thought he was following the Lord, and he wanted to be successful so bad. You don't need Diddy. It's right there in the church. At Faith Life Church. And now some good things have happened there. There were some good white folks up in there that helped. I mean, I was going through a crisis and a time, and this one man and his wife, they blessed me. They blessed me. And I thank the Lord for them. I would give them an offering every time I'd come to church. I'd drive up there, and I would drive up there often. The only reason that I didn't move there was because of my husband. And then I began to just see all of this evil that was going on. And the demons that were operating in that ministry and that was operating in Billy Graham's ministry and Kenneth Copeland's ministry. And that's where I encountered Kat Kerr, woman with the pink hair you see on YouTube. That's my first encounter with her. And that demon attacked me from the pulpit. Didn't know me. I didn't say anything, done anything. Walked in there with a bunch of, with I think a couple of white ladies and a Jewish lady. They think they white too anyway. So, and we had been, and I was going through with them. It was demonic activity going on with all that. Now, because of the way I was brought up in the Lord, was to, be kind, benefit of the doubt, try to find the good, that people, real Christians wouldn't be acting like that, not on purpose. That couldn't have been what they meant. I was very stupid. And come to find out, the thing is, a white couple, very, very classy, prominent people, warned me about Faith Life Church and Keith Moore and Phyllis Moore and that whole entire Kenneth Copeland and that whole thing. But I wouldn't believe them. It's like, oh, you just had a bad experience because of, no, I can't, I couldn't fathom that being true. Or that it was coming from, that the Keith and Phyllis knew about it. Nothing gets by them. Let me tell you, they know. And Keith don't want to know because he had to, you got to have your conscience, But Phyllis is a hard nose, whole different kind of spirit. She is the one that triggered off Keith going off on me and my husband because her witchcraft was lying to her, the spirits. See, she claims she operates in the gifts of God, but she used them as witchcraft and used them as a weapon and was operating in the spirits of fear and totally misreading everything, a mess. Lied on us. So when I found out, and they're telling my son, oh, this is everybody goes through this. This is rite of passage, just to keep you humble. What word in the Bible did Jesus tell the disciples and them that they had to scrub the floors in order for them to be able to go and minister to anybody or do anything? He don't need you to keep them humble. I didn't see Keith down there scrubbing any floors or Phyllis down there scrubbing any floors, and they're leaders. And if anybody needs to be kept humble, it's them. And obviously they needed to be down there on that floor scrubbing some toilets because they were way out of control. Using God's word to become wealthy and millionaires. And when Creflo Dollar tried to spread the good news of grace, they chopped him up like some liver's worth or something. I mean, it was bad. And my son has not been the same. Just different in a lot of ways as far as being wounded by the church. That I don't want to go in, that's his thing. I don't think when he decides he wants to talk about it, he will. But I'm talking about it because I don't like it. It's got to stop. And they hurt my family and hurt me personally. And this witchcraft is going on in these churches. Billy Graham lying like a dog on a rug, pretending like these are the real Hebrews and she knows good and well because she's a Bible scholar. These people know the word. And they are playing with God and playing with God's people to get their money. And I even gave to help Kenneth Copeland get that citation or whatever the name of that darn thing was, jet. Went to the invitation, the greeting that they did in what's the name, and I heard him laugh at us about it, pretty much just without saying the words, but how stupid y'all are. Y'all got me dressed. Thanks for dressing me in all this finery. Ha ha ha. He laughed at us. The devil was laughing at us. And he flashed a Baphomet as well while he's preaching and in the pulpit. He's buying souvenir jets while he's got secret little clubs to call you up and text you and email you for $1,000 or two when he promised and vowed God that he wouldn't do that. Then he started letting other people do it. Doing stuff off camera, behind the scenes. Oh, these are devils, baby, let me tell you. So I just wanted to tell that. Because they hiding behind all that, and they ain't right. Had a chance to repent, never repented to my son, never told him he was sorry for all that happened. Because I let him know what was happening. Tried to half apologize to me. It's like, no, that's not going to work. I just stayed until it was time for my son to go. When he couldn't take it anymore, he left. And I thought, just hang in there, son. You know, I'm thinking, and one time I saw him, they wouldn't let him sing, but he was on the bass guitar and his head was down the whole time. I said, what's going on with my son? Now, this is over live streaming. And I did not know what was wrong. I don't know what had happened. But I figured if something was really, really going down, he would tell me, but he wouldn't. I had to find it out from the Holy Ghost, and eventually, when he really got so overwhelmed, then he began to tell me about it. Just bits and pieces. Still got him convinced that everybody else went through that. All them white men and women ain't been on their hands and knees on the floor scrubbing. And why you don't? Oh, that's some make you say a bad word. That's some mess the Romans would do. When they would parade around the leader of the army, when they had a victory, they put that, I forget the name of that wreath thing that they would hold over the gold over his head. You're only a man. Remember, you're only a man. What kind of ungodly people doing some crap like that? Call yourselves Christians. One man, he was a ridiculous, nasty racist. Some of them wouldn't even speak to you, the bodyguards that ushers in the aisle. This one guy, a guy touched him on the shoulder to speak to him because he reminded me of one of these actors. He's just a nasty little racist, wouldn't even speak. These thugs, devils. Don't get caught up in these personalities. You can see it now because it's coming out. They calling out these pastors that have been did these freak offs, and they done turned Christian meetings into fraternity stump yards and Freemason secret rituals and demonic satanic ritual business. It's so out of control, it's unbelievable. Now, there's way more to it, but I'm just telling that part right now. Because the devil thinks he can sit back and hide and destroy people's lives and do the things that he does. Pastor's supposed to be there. I had been trying to get my husband to come to that church for a long time. He wouldn't go. And I would think, a lot of times you hear a lot of these husbands going, I'm not going to that, blah, blah, blah. We should have listened. But we needed to be, fueled. And get him there and then humiliate us. Instead of, if you thought something was wrong, then you should have said something like, you know what? So-and-so's parents are here. I would love to pray for you guys. Come on out so I can pray for you. No, no. He did a whole demonic, evil, worldly thug thing. We didn't move. We just sat there and looked at him like he was a fool. And then it was over. My husband left out and never returned ever again. I only came back because my family was still there. And I was there as God instructed me, and then when it was time to go, to go. Billy Brim, she refused to take a picture with me. I mean, I have done nothing to that woman. Her son even told her, don't say the black sheep of the family and all that. She said it anyway, to be mean. I'm there thinking, I want to be like them. Never in my life. Unbelievable. She let Kat Kerr have the platform while she was gone. Kat Kerr attacked me from the pulpit. She didn't know me. Them demons knew me though. And it was on. It was warfare going on. But I was still so insecure. I thought I can't act up here. Now I had seen stuff going on that I knew was not, but I didn't want to disrespect Billy. Even some times when she was there, some stuff, you know. But then the Lord, I said, Lord, what is? He said, she's a witch. She slithered her way into all of the major ministries. You see her, saying about the Lord told her to dye her hair pink and wear all them spikes and all that. I knew that was a lie. But you know what? Like I said, I was at a place where, and I went to ask her, since she confronted me, I went to ask her a question. I was, well, how is it that, if you could explain it to me, if you know, since you say you've been to heaven and all this, the Lord told me she none but a creative writer. Satan is giving her creative things to write. Lies. And I'm thinking, if you've been to heaven, man, I want to hear what you have to say. So I bought some of her materials, even though she embarrassed me and acted so ugly. Don't try to challenge me, such and such. And I'm just nice trying to ask her a question, seriously. She got scared. Them demons got scared. See, if I had had the authority feeling inside of me and confidence in Christ and in myself that I needed, I would have stood up and shut that devil down and set her down. And the Lord let me know all about it. And I saw her rising up the ranks, just sliming her way all the way up there till she, on other people's programs and doing all that stuff. And finally, she comes out with this ancestor stick, witchery, all that satanic mess. And it started coming out, just like God said. So I'm telling you, stop being afraid to leave these churches. You've got to learn how to embrace Christ on your own. People are going to disappoint you. It's difficult when you have been raised up going to church, and this is where you go, that you find that place of refuge. You go to get fueled, you go to fellowship with other people that you think are like you, and you find out you dealing with a bunch of devils. Well, I know I opened up a can of worms in the sense that I can't tell you everything, but I can tell you that. It almost destroyed me. The devils and witches that I ran into and encountered. People that I thought my own, that looked like me, that were my friends. I wasn't even trying to be friends with anybody. I'm just excuse me, trying to strengthen myself and fuel myself up, they come to me. And then they want to act up with you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We talking about we need real Christians. They're hard to find. Let me tell you they are. Hear God. Use discernment, his discernment. So you'll know who and what to do with what you are embarking upon. I didn't understand half of what the demonic stuff that was taking place with all of this stuff going on until I heard Life is Spiritual with Erica McConnell, or McCom, whatever her last name is. I learned, it explained and made clear everything. She's an ex-sorcerer that God used to come out and come forth and to reveal all of Satan's works to the people. Now, she's kind of holding back just a little bit now. But it was really starting to get to her to have to talk about go back and relive all that stuff. Some stuff I think she was embarrassed about. And she kind of didn't want to talk about or say. And it's like, listen, if you were as a sorcerer, we know you'll do anything. You have done everything and anything. Just like any of the rest of us. But if you were one of his agents, for sure. Nobody holding that against you. Matter of fact, I actually admire you the more. Don't let anybody talk you into, almost lying because you don't want to. Just say, I don't want to get into it. It's not something I'm proud of. It's not something that I want to talk about, and it's difficult to talk about it, but this is how that goes. So anyway, I love her. I think she's just an amazing woman. I think she has married someone that it's kind of put her in a form of bondage, lording over her. But you know what? If she's okay, what can I do? I'm going to keep praying for her. But that girl is anointed. She is anointed and powerful. And I understand mostly all this stuff that's going on with Diddy and the demonic kingdom of this entertainment industry and of the world, because God used her to inform us. Beware who you hang with, where you go to worship. And just because they sing a good song, don't you even for one moment swallow anybody whole. Kirk Franklin put out some of the best worship songs there was. Behold the Lamb. All of that. Look at them now. Wasn't saved to begin with. Tamla and them vowed not to get involved in fact, the next thing you know, she had a ritual album. All about flesh stuff. I don't listen to her anymore because she lied. She claimed she wasn't going to get involved in that mess and turn around and did. God bless people, and then they turn her and Brown. Then they turn around and start acting crazy. Backstabbing God. Don't think I ain't praying for myself that whenever he, in my life, wherever I am, that he keeps me. Because I know anybody's capable of it if you don't watch as well as pray. Draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not crossing that line. You better, or you will. Well, I just wanted to feed you that. It's for someone. I'll see you next time.